Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to the Let's Play series here down on Zielonka. Now this is episode 5, hope you're all doing very well and having a nice day. So, here we are, we're now on the second day of September. And I've got myself up nice and early this morning to crack on and get all the fields limed. So everything, every bit of arable land that we have on the farm now has the correct level of pH value. If I just pull this up here very quickly, jump into the menus, there we go. So apart from the red beet field here, obviously I haven't been able to drive over that because that does destroy the crop because it's not ready to harvest yet, still, thankfully. But yeah, the 4 fields that we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see, are all pH'd up, as it were, ready to drill. Now, because we're in September, we have 3 crops that we have available to drill. We've got wheat, barley and canola. And I think what I'm going to do, because canola of the 3 is the most valuable, I'm going to get 2 fields drilled with canola and I'm going to get 1 wheat and 1 barley. That's essentially how I'm going to do things. As I say, yeah, we've got all the liming done in them, and I did very quickly rent a quick scanner, and I've scanned over all the land, especially these 2. Well, initially these 2, I just had to scan the gap in the middle here that I'd created to create the 1 field. So yeah, everything's as it should be now. We're ready to drill. Now, the weather has given rain for about midday today. We're currently at just gone 7:30. So we've got a few hours ahead of us to try and get as much of the drilling done as possible before the heavens open. So, in fact, let's just shift this out of the way. We're going to jump in the Fiat. We're going to hook that up to the Isaria Scout. Sorry, not the Isaria Scout. It's an Isaria, isn't it? Not an Isaria Scout. What is the name of our drilling machine, actually? Isaria 6000S, forgive me. It's because I've just rented the Isaria Scout to do the field scanning, isn't it? That's where my mind was with that. So let's get this thing shifted out of the way. There we go. Let's just park that here for now. Good stuff. So we're going to connect up the Fiat, as I say. Hook up to the drill. I do love the detail in this Fiat. As you can see, because it's really dirty, can you see this? It's like it's got some writing on the window, like someone's drawn in the dirt. Can't quite figure out what it is or what it says. Lavani, perhaps, I think. But yeah, another cracking little bit of attention to detail from Edomod there with this tractor. Right, so anyway, enough faffing about there, forgive me. So let's get this hooked up. I've topped this one up with seeds. We've got 700 litres of seed in here at the minute. There we go. Right. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack on and put all these, the whole drilling job of all the fields into one cinematic. I haven't yet decided whether I'm going to put all of them into a cinematic, so to speak, or just put one of them into a cinematic and then get the other ones done off camera. I'll see how the mood takes me, but I think we're going to go start with the big one over here first. Now I'm going to put canola into this one. So let's get ourselves over there. Let's make sure I've got canola highlighted there. Very good. Right, so I shall get myself over here, get drilling, I'll stick it all into a cinematic, and I shall pick you all back up in a couple of hours' time when hopefully it's all done. So I'll see you soon. Okay, before we get started, just so none of you are a bit confused as to what's going on, I've had to get rid of that Isaria drill. It just didn't work. I've got no answer as to why. It worked if I did it manually, if I ran it myself, but running Courseplay, it just didn't work. Essentially, I'd press start on Courseplay, I'd get to the first waypoint, and it'd just carry on driving. It didn't lower it, it didn't activate it, didn't turn it on. I've got no answer as to what the cause was. I tried it with the other tractor, with the IMT, it did the same thing, so trial and error wise, in my mind, that says that the problem lay with the mod and not with the tractor, because it's done it with 2 tractors. so what I've done is I have sold it. I've essentially pretended that it never existed, so it cost me £7,000. We sold it for 5, so I put 2,000 back into the bank, and I have had to make this purchase of this lovely Cavernal Accord, which does work. As you can see, I've tested it for a couple of feet. I know it works. This was 13, no, just under 10 I think it was, sorry, forgive me, but it works. So now we're going to crack on with the cinematic, just so none of you were confused when another cedar appeared on the back of the tractor. Yeah, bit disappointed by that, because I really did like the look of that Asari. It was quite, it looked the part, so to speak. But I guess this one does the job just the same, and I suppose one benefit is it does have a slightly bigger capacity. It's got a capacity of 1,000 litres, whereas the Asari had a capacity of 700. So yeah, there's not much I can do about that. I suppose that was out of my hands, so I think I've managed to solve the problem anyway. So anyway, let's crack on and get this job done. So we shall see you all very soon.
I've been dreaming so much lately about your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me. Hey, I don't know if I told you that I think you're beautiful, and how I can't wait to hold you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know what I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. I don't wanna be without you. This is something that I know for sure. It's just something about you. I just want more. Tell me what you wanna do right now. Tell me what you wanna do tonight. I really don't care as long as I'm with you. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Look into my eyes, you can use them as a mirror. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now look into my eyes, you can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Falling down, and I don't know what I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know what I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Yeah, it feels like I'm on cloud nine.
Well, several hours later, And this is us done. We have drilled and we have rolled all 4 fields. So, jumping into the menus, as you can see there now, we have over in the big field, field 93, we have canola. We've got canola in the conjoined field here, 62 and 63. We've got barley in 92, and we've got wheat in 59. So, and that's taken quite a while to get all that drilled and completely rolled, but nonetheless, it's done. The weather changed about 20 minutes ago, quite literally, so made good time, as it were. But in that time, the several hours that it's taken me to get all this done, I've been having a bit of a ponder. Now, some of you may be aware in my in this series earlier in was it the last episode or the episode before that? I'll turn this off. I had we did the parsnip contract, didn't we, where we were running the big self-propelled vegetable harvester, and that was a nightmare. That gave me a bit of negative thoughts and feelings towards the whole vegetable thing. Those of you who've watched my Court Farm series know that I had a go at the carrots. I planted, we did the ridge mark with the ridge making, we planted and we harvested carrots using the toe behind harvester that has a slight capacity on it. That was a nightmare. And obviously the only experience I've going to have left of it is down here on Zielonka in our field of red beet over there, and that's going to be using the box harvester. So when that's done, I will have experienced essentially all 3 of the different types of harvester. We've got the box harvester, the toe behind harvester, and also the self-propelled. Now, so far 2 of those 3 have been a nightmare, as I've just said, and I'm really not overly too bothered about doing the vegetables anymore. We are going to be harvesting our red beets, obviously, having a go with this box harvester thing and seeing how that goes, but to be honest, I'm really not fussed about carrying on with the vegetables. Now, with that in mind, because of where we are financially at the minute, we're now at 16,174 quid. That's as a result of all the what we've done. That's a lot of that is seed and lime that we did earlier on as well. Yeah, so I'm just trying to, because I've spent the last few hours just bobbing around on here getting all this bit sorted. I'm kind of in the mindset now, even though we haven't used it, I'm going to sell our vegetable machinery. Now, obviously, I need to keep the harvester until we've harvested it, the red beets. But even when that's done, when the harvest is out the ground and all sold, I'm going to be selling that. But right now, I'm going to sell the ridge maker and the planter just to get some money back, because I've now experienced it. I know we haven't even used these 2 pieces of equipment yet. I appreciate that. So in some respects, it was a bit of a waste. Obviously, this is what we started to get the series with. And I know some of you might think it's a bit of a cop-out, but as I say, I'm just not interested in doing any of the vegetable stuff anymore. Not now, anyway. So with that in mind, while there's still some value there in the equipment, I'm going to sell it and put the money to better use down on the farm here anyway. And also, I'm going to sell this, the Z-Tor. Again, I know I've not used it much. We have used it once. I get that. I know that it was a bit of a, it's maybe been a bit of a waste. It was a piece of equipment that we started the series with. But the reality is, there's not much it can really do. In my mind, when I set the game up, when I set this save up, in my mind anyway, I was going to be using this predominantly with the vegetable planter, and maybe, I suppose maybe it could potentially run this, but essentially it's there's not much that these 2 tractors can't do. Well, there's nothing that these 2 tractors can't do down the farm, but there's plenty that this can't do. It's worth just under 7 grand according to the menu, so if I take it over to the store, it's going to be worth a few quid more. That is these 2 things at the minute, based on the values that the menu has given me. Across the 3 pieces of equipment, we've got 39,122 quid's worth of equipment. That's obviously going to be slightly north of 40 grand if we take everything to the store. I'm just trying to think sensibly. I'm trying to think about the money, essentially, because I do want to get moving forward on this series. I'm very keen to get the cow barn set down, and obviously, just expand the farm and start making some decent headway. So like I say, this isn't going to really be much use to me. These 2 things definitely aren't either, and neither is that harvester once the harvester's gone. Now I haven't obviously included any financial value from this thing yet. I think this is worth about, in fact, let's just check. we go into the garage, into our vegetable technology. Yeah, just 31.5 grand it's worth at the minute, and it's not been used yet. So once we that value might go down a tiny bit once we've done the harvest. But do you know what? I'm really not that bothered. I'm more inclined to get rid of it all and essentially just make use of the money in the bank account, and then what that enables me to do is just to get the farm expanded quicker than initially planned. So with that in mind, we're going to make our way over to the stall in the Fiat with these two bits of equipment attached. I'm going to take the Zetor over there. We'll give them a clean off when they're there. Now, one piece of equipment that I am going to have to purchase while I'm there, and hopefully the one I've got in mind is relatively cheap, but hopefully should be very useful, because this is another little thing that just slipped my... Well, it didn't slip my mind, it was a slight mistake on my part. This fertilizer tank only gives out liquid fertilizer. It doesn't fill up the SIPMA lime and fertilizer spreader thing with solid fertilizer. And I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that this thing only spits out liquid fertilizer, so we need a liquid fertilizer sprayer. I've got one in mind. It's pretty cheap. I think it's about 3 or 4 grand. It seems like a very apt piece of equipment. I can't quote you the brand just yet, but we'll get down there and we'll pick it up. It's got a decent work width. I think it's got a work width of about 12 meters. It's one that unfolds. But we need to get that into use, because now that our fields are drilled and rolled, they do need to be fertilized. Because if we jump into the field here, there we go. The pH values are perfect, but the nitrogen is awful, so that needs to be dealt with ASAP. And I'd like to get that done in this game month, in this day, as it were, before we make our way into October. And hopefully in October, that's when we'll be able to get the red beet out the ground, done and dusted, and get that piece of equipment sold as well. And then I can just essentially wash my hands of it all and move on. So let's get ourselves over to the shop. Let's get this stuff sold. Let's pick up our new fertilizer spreader, liquid fertilizer spreader. Let's send this on its way to the shop. There we go. Done. Off you go. We'll do the same with the Zetor. And I'll see you over there in a few moments when everything's gone, and I'll be able to quote you exactly what we get for the machinery. So see you there very shortly. Right, well, it was definitely worth the trip down here with that equipment, because we gained, on top of the value that the menu was telling us, we got an extra 3,908 quid just for bringing it down here. Maybe giving it a wash off as well did help, and while I was at it I gave the Fiat a bit of a clean. But this is our new liquid fertilizer sprayer. It's a Unia Sleza 10013, I suppose it is. It's got a work width, I believe, of 12 meters. Yeah, 12 meters. So that should be pretty cool. So let's get it hooked up to the Fiat. Let's get back over to the farm, and we need to get working straight into that. But now we have a total of 53,704 quid, which is well good. That's as far as I'm concerned. I hope you'll agree that I've made a half-decent decision there. But maybe it's a personal thing, as I say, but I've just got no interest in wanting to do the vegetable things anymore. Not at the minute. I know there are some mods out there. Mark Thor has recently released his big machine pack that can make light work of it all. I get that, but they're big money. They're well out of my reach financially at the minute. So yeah, it's kind of, they're just unobtainium at the minute, I think. So right, let's get back to the farm. As I say, we'll fill up with some liquid fertilizer. Hopefully, I'm hoping I'm not going to eat my words, but I'm almost certain that will work now at the fertilizer tank. So let's get back there, and I'll see you in a few moments. Right, there we go. It works, thankfully. Sigh of relief from me there, kind of. But yeah, 1,200 quid it cost to fill this up. It's got a hopper size of 1,000 litres. So it's got a half decent capacity. It's got a good working width, as I say, of 12 metres, but £1,200 to fill it up. So it's I'm quite glad that we've increased the bank account a little bit. So nothing left than to crack on and get these fields fertilised and get them where they should be, because I want to get all this lot boxed off before this month ends, essentially, so that when we do get into October, everything's ready. There's no more work needing to be done in these fields, essentially. So let's get this wee beastie unfolded and put it straight to work. Let's see what it looks like, shall we? It was £5,500, by the way, so I was a couple of grand off for the price. I thought it was about 3. I was getting me mods mixed up, as it were. Oh, look at that! Considering how nonchalant I just pulled it into the field. I've got that about right, haven't I? Excellent. Right, so yes, I'm going to. We're going to get another cinematic made. I'm going to do a bit of a fertilizing cinematic. I might just do one field into a cinematic and again get the rest of the fields done off camera. But yeah, either way, I shall see you all very soon. Right, there we go. Job done. Nitrogen topped up, fertilizer sorted in all the fields. I'll very quickly jump into the PDA, just have a quick look-see, but there you go. You see, yeah, field 16 he's doing. That's the one with the red beet in, but I can't give that a sorting out because if I drive over it, I destroy the crops. So that'll just have to be. I think the current expected yield on that field is about 74%, I think, so it's not going to be great, but that's the field that was given to us. That's how it, in the state that it was when we bought it, so in that state it shall stay until next month when we dig it up and get rid of those carrots. So there we go. I am really happy with this sprayer, I must admit. It's a really handy bit of kit. It's pretty decent. Do you know what? I've still got the FOVs still a bit messed up there. There we go, that's better. As it was set from the cinematic there. Okay. Right, anyway, so that's pretty much all the fields boxed off. Field 59 over here does say it has weeds growing and needs a weeder to to sort it out. So that is going to be something I'm just going to get done off camera. Hopefully shouldn't take too long. But aside from that, all the other fields are perfect and can now just be left to their own devices until harvest time, essentially, which is excellent. So now then, so pretty much now, because of all that we've done, we're now sorted until next month. Now, come next month, which is going to be the next episode, I'm going to get straight into the harvesting of the red beets. We're going to get that done. I can foresee, I'm assuming it's going to take a very, very, very long time to do it, based on my past experiences. It might actually not take as long as the others, purely because I'm not going to be expecting Courseplay and Auto Drive to try and work together. I'm not going to be messing around with problems with those two things. Essentially, you know, having never used the box harvester before, I'm just assuming it picks up, it creates the boxes and dumps them on the ground. As I don't have a forklift truck or anything with a front loader on it, what I will probably do is just pick them up and put them at the side of the field, and go round. And when all the field is harvested, I'll then run round with my little trailer here and pick them all up and take them off to be sold somewhere. That'll get some more money in. It'll free up that field. It'll get rid of get the vegetables out my hair, so to speak. And then as soon as it's done, I'll be able to give the harvester machine a wash off, take it down to the shop and sell it, and get whatever we can for it, plus whatever we get for the carrots, for the red beets. Sorry, that should stand us in pretty decent stead, because, as I keep talking about the next episode, once we've done that, the red beets, because of the money we now have, we're at 48,918 quid now. The fertilizer has cost me somewhere between 3 or 4 grand for all the fields. So, yeah, it's cost a couple of grand. Excuse me. But yeah, what I'd like to get done once we've got that red beet sorted is I should be able to start thinking about the cow barn. It's something I've been really wanting to get into this, but obviously I've not had the ability to do it because my wallet won't let me. But get the cow barn placed down here. The cow barn is 70 grand. That's how much that costs. Obviously I'm not going to be able to get cows straight away, but the idea is I'm going to offer it up in here to see where I need to place it, chop down the trees that I need to get rid of, put the trees on the trailer, chop them up into manageable chunks, as it were, stick it all on the little flatbed trailer and take all these off to the local sawmill, or whoever's paying highest price for the wood at the time. We'll make a bit of money from that as well. And yeah, and that'll be the farm starting to take shape a bit more. I'll be able to, like I say, I'll be able to get the cow barn into the trees, get that settled where I want it to be, do a bit of landscaping, extend this lane up into it, and start designing the land around that a bit, which I'm really quite looking forward to. Excuse me, my voice keeps on going dry and hoarse all of a sudden. But yeah, so that's the loose plan that I have in my mind. As I say, I'll get the weeder running this field at some point between this episode and the next episode. But the main thing is we've got crops in the ground. We've got 4 fields worth, all done as they should be, so the yield should be excellent. In fact, it should tell us where we're at roughly with this one. Expected yield 123%. I think that pretty much stands the case for the rest of the fields as well. Now, we were very fortunate, actually. It's a point I meant to bring up earlier. Regarding the soil types, the big field over here, field 93, I think it is, that is almost entirely loam. So the seed rate in that field was excellent. It was low for almost the whole field. This one, not so much. It's more than half in the high seed rate. And obviously this one's a bit of all three. But yeah, I think I lucked out with that one. I was quite chuffed with that. That's why when we seeded this field, we had 70% left in the hopper, whereas in this field it used a hell of a lot more. So yeah, pretty lucky with that. But yeah, the point is, seeds in the ground, all the yield is pointing in the right direction. Everything's sorted, as it were. So these, as I say, can just be left to their own devices until harvest time. But yeah, so I'm quite excited. I'm happy with the way the farm is progressing at the minute. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. I am going to call it here for this episode. Now, forgive me if it is a few minutes shorter than they usually are. As I say, I've got it to the point now where I think this episode is pretty much where it needs to be. And at the beginning of the next episode, we're going to jump into the red beets, get them done, get them literally boxed off into boxes, get them sold. And hopefully from there we can start to progress with placing down the cow barn, doing a bit of landscaping and making it look all good, having a few trees to sell, a bit of wood, and going from there. So, yeah, quite happy with that. And in reference to what I did before, I hope you guys agree with me in respect of the selling of the vegetable equipment and also the little Zeta. I was sorry to see it go. I know I didn't do a great deal with it. It had like 0.9 work hours on it, so I think that equates to about 54 minutes, which was the weeder job we did in that field an episode or so ago. But I felt it was the right thing to do. The Zeta was never really going to get a huge amount of use on the farm. It was able to do 1 or 2 jobs, and that's pretty much it. So I thought, you know what, for the sake of 6 or 7 grand, I may as well let it go and go from there. So yeah, 2 main tractors. I think that's all we need for now. We will no doubt at some point in the future, when money allows us, we may well get hold of another tractor, or you know, depending if something fancy takes my eye. But we shall see. We shall see. We've got plenty of capable stuff as we are at the minute. These 2 tractors are absolutely fine for what we need. So, awesome stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really hope you've enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a bit interesting. As always, if you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the channel, and giving the video a like if you can, if you have liked it, of course. And as always, there is a host of links in the video description with my promo code, as I am a Giants partner now. So if any of you are in the market for a DLC, an add-on, a season pass, or even the full game itself, or this premium expansion, and you fancy helping out a content creator at the same time, I would be massively appreciative. So as always, thanks again, everyone. Take care, and I shall see you in the next episode.